Be honest, when was the last time someone asked you what your plan was and they meant your bank account, not your Tuesday? Everyone prepares you for the money side of retirement. Almost no one prepares you for the Tuesday side, the hours, the identity, the who am I now if I'm not my job title. That gap is exactly why so many retirees feel lost in that first year, even the ones who did everything right with their finances. In this video, I will walk you through how to close that gap so rebuilding after 60 feels less like starting over and more like a chapter you actually choose. I will give you 5 simple steps that helped me with rebuilding after 60, and I promise that will help you too. Stick around for step 5. It's the one that ties everything together. If you had a long career where you climbed the ladder, one promotion, one new challenge at a time, then you already know retirement is the hardest step you will ever take. It's not a smooth hand off from one job to the next. It's not the next rung on the same ladder. It's a completely different ladder. That's what rebuilding after 60 really means. Whatever age retirement finds you. On the ladder, you spend the decades climbing. You build an identity. You had a lot of people around you. You had the structure every single day. And when retirement hits, most of that disappears overnight. That's what creates the emptiness. And for a lot of people, the quiet frustration. Once the vacation wears off, you have to accept that shift before you can start rebuilding after 60 the right way. But here's the good news. You're not starting that climb empty handed. You're bringing something with you that's worth more than you realize. I will show you what that is in just a moment. If you're new around here, I'm Jan, a 74-year-old retiree, generally living my best years yet. I'm originally from Sweden, which you have probably picked up from my accent. But I chose to spend this chapter of my life in the wonderful country of Mexico. I'm the founder of the Golden Age Lifestyle, a place built for people figuring out retirement the same way I did. I went through the exact same struggle that most people face when retirement becomes the next chapter. But I found 5 simple steps that made the transition not just easier, generally it became enjoyable. The first one catches most people off guard. Let's get into it. The first step in rebuilding after 60 is figuring out who you are now. What do you mean, you might be thinking? I know who I am. Fair enough. But inside who you are, there's more than one version of you waiting to be lived out. You retired from a job. Your experience didn't retire with you. Neither did your knowledge or the skills you spent a lifetime building. Take a moment and think about what you were actually good at, what you loved doing. How could that carry forward into this next chapter of your life? That's a starting point for your new identity. If it still feels a little blurry, don't worry, step 5 will bring it all into focus. But first, let's lay the groundwork. Rebuilding after 60 isn't about finding a new job. This chapter is different. It's the one where you finally get to enjoy every part of what you're doing every day which probably wasn't how you felt about most of your working life. So take a few minutes and just write down what you genuinely loved doing at work. Maybe you were a teacher and the best part of your day was helping one student finally understand something they had been stuck on. Maybe you were an engineer and you felt most alive sketching out an idea at the drawing board. Once you have that list, you have got the raw material for the next chapter. And this next one is where it starts feeling real. Step three is your purpose. Have you ever noticed how conversation with friends somehow always drifts back to the thing you know best? That's not a coincidence. It happens because you are passionate about it. I spent my career in sales and marketing, and to this day, any casual conversation somehow ends up there. Not because I try, because it's generally what I care about. That's exactly what rebuilding after 60 is built on. And that leads us straight into step four. Let's zoom out for a second. Your purpose after 60 doesn't have to look anything like it did at 30 or 40 when it was shaped by companies' goals, not your own. Rebuilding after 60 means doing it entirely on your terms. That is step four. Build something new. Once I knew I wanted to share what I had learned about sales and marketing, I started a YouTube channel. I also wanted to reach retirees who were figuring out the same thing I was. So I started a blog. I built an email list, sent something out almost every day, and honestly, it became a real mess. Not because the idea was wrong, but because I had no real structure behind it. So I changed that. And actually changed everything for me. The platform where I hosted my blog introduced me to something that changed the whole picture. Take action and do it the right way. My identity and my purpose were never the problem. What I was missing was knowing how to build something around what I already loved doing. I learned how to test new ideas quickly and know early on whether something was worth my time before sinking months into it. If any of this sounds familiar, if you're standing where I once stood, there's a link in the description to the same resource that helped me. No pressure at all. Just have a look if it's useful to you. Rebuilding after 60 was never about doing more. It's about doing it the right way. If this video struck a chord, drop a comment below and tell me what's the hardest part for you about rebuilding after 60. I read every comment and I would love to hear where you are at right now. And if you want to go deeper, there's a video right here somewhere on the screen. Stuck after 60, 5 shifts that rebuild momentum and reinvent your life. This is a journey, my friend, and none of us should walk it alone. I see you in the next one.